To begin our set of tutorials, we're going to start with tutorial 1. This is on safety. This is the most important thing that we will do through these tutorials. This short tutorial will always be the first thing on our mind when approaching the subject of shimiwaza and kinsetsuwaza. We must be clear from the beginning the reason we use these techniques in judo. Shimiwaza and kinsetsuwaza are by nature dangerous if not used properly. So I've laid out about 7 points here that I want to just make sure everybody is clear about before we enter the tutorials. So point number 1, in judo the aim is to score ippon. That's always the aim with throws, pins, and the same with arm locks, chokes and strangles. By achieving a submission through a choke or strangle or arm lock, we score an ippon. The first and main point is that we are not attempting to knock anybody out, strangle or choke anybody, break an arm or cause any injury to our opponent. We want to secure an ippon and win the match. That is our main and only goal. Point 2. The difference between chokes and strangles is simple. Choking someone restricts the airway. Strangulation restricts the blood to the brain. The collective name for these techniques in judo is shimiwaza, or choking techniques. Point number 3, arm locks or arm bars in judo can only be applied to the elbow joint. There are no shoulder locks, wrist locks, knee locks, ankle or foot manipulation. The collective name for arm locks are kinsetsuwaza, or joint manipulation techniques. Point number 4, this is very simple. No fooling around. No fooling around means that we do not sneak up on anybody and try to attack them or apply one of the techniques on a friend in the street, your parents, on your little brother or sister. We have supplied most people or most families with a grappling dummy to begin with, and that is where we practice until we get back on the mats with a qualified coach. So no fooling around whatsoever. Point number 5, when we do get back onto the mats, we have to realise both people doing judo, both partners have a responsibility when they're practicing or competing. We need to learn about these techniques from 12 years of age, pre-cadet, but we cannot use them in competition until 14 years of age, or cadets. The main point, you have 2 people, Tori and Uki. Tori the person doing the technique, Uki the person having the technique done on them. So Tori needs to ensure the safety of the opponent by applying the technique correctly in the right area of the body. For example, the choke should never be across the mouth. The judo jacket should never be pulled across the mouth. That will be a penalty or a mate. An arm lock should not be pulled on harshly or too quickly in practice. Okay, we have to be very, very, very careful with these. Now, however, what also you have to remember in shiai or competition, there's an assumption that if you enter a competition that both competitors are experienced using the techniques and they know that safety may be taken to the limit. Second of all, Uki, the person having the technique done on them, also needs to ensure their own safety by firstly and foremostly knowing the rules. Knowing if the choke or arm lock is on or almost there, and then acting in a safe manner. That is, using the tap out, the mata, or the submission. So there's no heroes. You have to live to fight another day. If the arm lock or the choke is coming on, you will certainly know it. We have had occasion at the Judo Academy where very experienced competitors, in fact coaches, have thought that the choke or the strangle was not coming on, and very, very quickly it came on and they passed out. Fortunately, they only passed out for a second or two, but it is a warning to all of us that these techniques can be dangerous. Okay, point number 6. uke, or the person having the technique done on them, must also remember that there's certain positions on the ground or when getting up from the ground that will allow openings for certain arm locks or chokes. For example, if uke falls on the ground on the knees, they can be sure that their opponent will try to take their back and neck. Therefore, it's imperative that they cover up their neck and try to regain control, possibly in the guard position. Number 7, again, getting up from the ground by putting an arm out or having a loose arm or a posted arm to help get up from the ground can invite an opponent to attempt an arm lock on that arm. There are many newaza or groundwork specialists that can take advantage of small openings or opportunities like this. So, don't want to do too much talking, but that is just the basic safety procedures, and we have to remember them before we start each session.